specifically focused on the side body. If you've got your props, you can always have them close by. You also may not need them. So let's go ahead and dive in. To start class today, come toward the front of your mat and bring your bum quite close to your heels. Use your forearms and begin to make your way down into like a prep pose for bridge. You can just have your arms alongside you. Maybe walk the heels in a little bit closer so they land underneath your kneecaps. And take a moment. Notice the whole back line of the body making contact with the mat. See if your chin is poking up or down. Just level it. At any point, the eyes might close. And just begin to notice what you observe with the eyes closed. You might notice the subtle rise and fall of the belly. You might notice the rise and fall of the chest. Maybe you observe the way that the two move together in synchrony, in symphony with one another. Just notice the breath that breathes you. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And for today, make a shh. On the exhale, so breathe in through the nose. Exhale. Keep going and turn it into a until you get every last bit of air out of your system. One more, last one like that. Breathe in through the nose. Really nice. From here, make sure your feet are planted well. And as you breathe in, lift the hips up and sweep the arms up over your head at the same time. When you arrive, take the same exhalation. Until every last bit of air is out. Now listen, stay empty and begin to lower the hips down slowly. The navel will draw in toward the spine for a little Uddiyana Bandha. And you might feel some tension as you lower down. Keep the tension as long as you can. When the hips touch down and you need to breathe in, take the inhale. Exhale, hands come by your side. Again, like that, breathe in, hips lift, arms reach up over your head. Exhale like we've been doing. Stay empty as you lower the hips down slowly. Feel the tension, the navel pulling in. Stay empty a moment longer. When you need to breathe in and the hips are down, take the breath in. Exhale, hands come by the side. Last one like that. You might need to readjust your feet. Breathe in, lift the hips, sweep the arms up over your head. Maybe the hips are a touch higher this time. Exhale. Stay empty. Lower the hips down. You know it now. Tension in the belly, navel draws in. Uddiyana Bandha. When the hips touch down, when you need it, then you breathe in again. Exhale, hands come by your side. From here, just draw the knees into the chest and rock a little bit left and right, massaging out the edges of the sacrum. You can rock up and down on the spine, get a little momentum. If the eyes haven't opened up yet, now is a great time. And we'll meet in a boat pose. Knees can be bent or legs can be extended. Palms face up like you were serving a platter. Pull your chest through, broaden your collarbones. From here, just lower halfway down and hover. And then pike back up. Inhale to lower halfway. Exhale, pike. Inhale to lower. Exhale to pike. Breathe in. Stay and hover for 3, 2, 1. Pike back up. Lower down again. This time for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike back up. You've got it. Last one. Lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike back up and lower down. Draw the knees into the chest. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Eventually cross at the shins, and we'll make our way back into a tabletop. Resettle so you're in the center of your mat. Remember, a tabletop is just the archetype of a 90-degree angle. 90-degree angle in the shoulder, the wrist, the hips, the knees. Tops of the feet are down, the shoelace side of the foot, like you could press your toenails into the mat. And for today, we'll take our cat-cows really fast. So you can keep your fingertips pointing forward. You can also flip the wrists around. It's up to you. And then for today, as you breathe in, suck everything up. And as you breathe out, stick everything out. So a little bit different with the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And just begin to go in and out a few times really quickly. You can close your eyes like you were really starting an engine and lighting your pilot light, lighting the fire underneath your bum, striking a match. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And then suck it all up. Stick it all out. Just keep one wrist flipped around if you had it. You could also take one wrist out to the side if this is a lot for you. And just begin to move around in circles. Any way that you'd like. Circling around the entire palm. Noticing which section of the hand you don't go. For me, I'm very avoidant of my index finger knuckle. So I make conscious effort to go there. And you can get your head and neck involved, rounding and arcing the spine as you move through. You can close the eyes. It doesn't need to look any sort of way. It's just an exploration. Switch hands. Circle the other way. Take the weight around the entire surface of the palm like you are circling a clock, going from 3 to 6 to 9 to 12, or perhaps 12 to 3 to 6 to 9, if you're going clockwise or counterclockwise. Head can be involved, hips can be involved, arcing and rounding the spine as you go. And then both hands just face forward, ground the palms into the mat really well. Okay, from here, just take a breath in and look out. Exhale all the air out of your mouth now, lion's breath. We'll do it one more time. Breathe in. Lion's breath, stick your tongue out. Stay empty. Tuck your toes. Hips draw high and up. The navel draws in toward the spine, just like we did earlier. When you need it, then you breathe in. Exhale, the knees touch down, table again. Inhale, arc the spine, look out. Lion's breath out the mouth. I'm aware it looks so silly. And then stay empty, tuck the toes, draw the navel in toward the spine. Imagine you are being pulled like the string of a doll. When you need to breathe in, do so. Exhale, knees touch down. Last one, breathe in, arc and look out. Lion's breath out the mouth. Stay empty, tuck your toes like someone was pulling the string of a doll. Hips high and up, belly button draws in. Stay for the breath in. Stay here for the breath out. And just walk your dog, pedal out your feet. Take any movements that you want. You can measure, bringing left hand to left ankle. Same thing on the right. If you know that, you can measure by coming forward to a plank pose, taking it back to a dog pose, and then tent up high onto your right fingertips. You can look at your hand just to check, and lift your right leg really high up in the air. And now imagine you could get longer on the whole right side, from the heel of the right foot to the right hip point, to the right armpit, to the right fingertip. So the whole right side is really long. Breathing into the right side of the rib cage. Just place your right palm back down on the mat and send your right shin down on the mat now. So the right shin is like a tabletop. The left leg is kind of in like the back leg of a lunge pose. Right hand recenters. Bend the left heel down. And then as you need to adjust the right foot like a kickstand, you can find modified side plank. Just take the left arm all the way up in the air. You can look at the palm with your gaze. Turn the left palm to face the front of the mat. Swim the left arm over your ear. The chin will fit the nook of your armpit. You get longer on the whole left side, really stretching from the left hip point to the left rib cage, to the left armpit, to the left middle finger. Take one more breath in. And as you breathe out, place your left hand down. The left heel lifts back up. Right leg high and up to a 3-leg dog. Look at the space between your hands and step your right foot forward and through. Tap your left knee down. Point your left toe. So the right foot lands right in the center of the hands. Top of the left foot is down. Chest is resting on your thighs. Reach your arms forward and take the arms all the way up. Anjaneyasana, maybe you hook the thumbs at the top and reach up through the hook of the thumbs. So that way you get longer and maybe even a little bit lighter in the upper body. You can take your gaze with you as well. Take one more breath in. As you breathe out, both hands come down to frame the front foot. Shift the hips back in space. Drive the heel into the mat. Flex the right toes up toward the ceiling. Maybe you release your head. You could wag your tail a little bit to the right and to the left. And of course, you can have your hands on blocks here if you'd like, or any other DIY props you might have access to. Stamp your right foot down, bend your right knee, tuck your back toes, pick up your back knee, look forward, and step the left foot to the top of the mat for a forward fold. Place your hands on your shins and lift up halfway. And as you exhale, hinge at the hip, fold down over the leg again. Breathe in to rise up and reach your arms up. Really use the support of the legs. Palms press at the top as you look up. Hands find the center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Breathe in and step the right foot back. As you breathe out, the left foot finds a dog pose. Come forward to plank. And you can either slink yourself down by touching the knees down, pointing the toes. You could also go through a chaturanga and just bend the elbows and lower in one unit. It's up to you. Once you get here, release your forearms so that way they land in front of you. Your elbows will be right underneath your shoulders. Palms are parallel to one another, middle fingers pointing forward. So you're in a sphinx pose. Lengthen, lift the right foot up a moment. Lengthen through the right leg, place it down. Lift up the left foot, lengthen it, place it down, and take your gaze forward. From here, just allow your chin to drop down toward your chest. You can take the left ear to the left shoulder, maybe back through the middle. Right ear to the right shoulder. Just explore a few neck stretches. Again, it doesn't need to look any particular kind of way. Just an opportunity to explore And as you do this, reminder to keep pressing into the elbows and pressing into the forearms. So the shoulders have some space between the collarbones and the ears. To make your way out of it, bring the hands back, lower the chest down, pass through a baby cobra, perhaps through a child's pose, or maybe just all fours, and we'll meet again in down dog. Down dog, our favorite pose, and then tent up on your left fingertips and lift your left leg high and up. Keep reaching through the heel of the left foot. You can look at your hand if you'd like and get longer through the whole left side of the body, even if it's just in your imagination. Extend from the left heel to the outer left hip point, to the bottom of the left rib cage, to the left armpit, to the left fingertops, and get longer. Take one more breath in. Place your left hand down. Breathe in again. And then send your left shin down onto the mat. So the left shin is like in a table, and the right foot is how it would be if we were in a lunge pose. You can adjust the left palm so it's in line with your left knee. Maybe you adjust the left shin like a bit more of a kickstand. Spin the right heel down. Modified side plank. Right arm reaches up toward the ceiling. You can look at the right hand with your gaze. Right palm forward toward the front of the mat. Take your right arm over your ear and stretch the whole right side of the body long. So the outer edge of the back foot is really stitched down and plugging in well. You lengthen through the whole right side and breathe into the right rib cage. The chin can fit the nook of the armpit, and maybe you find the ceiling with your left eyeball. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, the right hand touches down, the right heel lifts up. Breathe in, 3-leg dog, left leg high and up. Breathe out, step the left foot forward and through between your hands. Tap the right knee down, point your right toes. The left knee lands over the left heel, the chest rests on the thigh, the knee fits the armpit, and you reach the arms forward. Take it up to an Anjaneyasana or a crescent lunge, maybe the opposite hook of the thumbs here. Keep the ears in line with the biceps. And take your gaze with you. Just stay and catch the breath that breathes you, just moving through. Stay for one more breath in. And as you breathe out, release the hands down, frame the front foot, shift the hips back in space, drive the left heel down into the mat, flex the left toes up toward the ceiling, maybe a wag of the hips left and right. You can drop your head and release the neck. Just notice the stretch and the extension along the whole back line of the left leg. Breathe in, stamp the left foot down, rebend your left knee, tuck the back toes, pick up the right knee, look forward, and step the right foot to meet the left one as you exhale. Forward fold. Hands on the shins, lift up halfway as you breathe in. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, rise up and reach the arms up. Look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe in, Urdhva Hastasana, look up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, the right foot steps back on the mat. Forward to plank on the breath in. Back to dog on the breath out. Forward again. And back. This time come forward to a plank pose. Keep the elbows narrow and just lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you arrive, slide your fingertips out wide of the mat. Lengthen one foot then the other. Press into the tops of the feet, one bone at a time. Begin to round your way up. Lengthen, look out. Exhale to lower down. Undulating Cobra. Breathe in. The breath lifts you up from the mid-back. You look out when you arrive. As you exhale, lengthen and lower. On your own breath 3 times. When you finish, hands frame the rib cage like chaturanga arms, so that way the elbows point straight back in space and they're hugged in pretty tightly. Tuck your toes, kneecaps lift, thighs lift, baby cobra. Exhale all the air out of your mouth. Stay empty. Press up to the top of a plank pose, no breath. When you need it, then breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. From your down dog, just walk your hands back on the mat until you arrive in a forward fold at the back edge of your mat. You can place your fists together right between the arches of your feet to find a hip width distance. For today, bend your knees, find your chest resting on your thigh, and maybe you slide the hands right underneath the feet for Padahastasana. Wiggle the toes all the way up into the wrist creases, and you can just rock the weight a little bit forward and back into the balls of the feet, into the heels of the feet. Wiggle the toes and massage out the wrists, and the carpal bones. Let your head go. And again, notice the breath that just breathes you. Release your hands from under the feet and just roll up one bone at a time, going real slow. The tailbone will begin to point downward. One vertebra will stack on top of the next until you get to the top. Shoulders can roll up by your ears and then float down your back. Palms face forward for a moment of stillness and standing. From here, reach your arms up. Grab hold of the left wrist with the right hand, tug up on the left, side bend over to the right. Turn the gaze up so you find the ceiling with your right eyeball. And the next time you breathe in, come back to the middle, tug opposite wrist, side bend over to the left. Find the gaze with your left eyeball. Back through the middle, and hands release down. Grab your blocks if you've got them close by. Otherwise, you can definitely just do this on your fingertops. Fold back down over your legs and bend your knees really well. If you've got the blocks, you'll take them on their highest height, like you're going to 12 on the face of a clock. If you're doing this without blocks, just tent up onto your fingertips and reach really far forward. Look out beyond your hands and the tailbone way back in space energetically, so the knees are bent pretty well. And then take your hands over to the right, like you could go to 2 o'clock on the face of a clock, and look out beyond your hands. And as you do, keep tugging the left butt bone back in space so you get longer on the whole left side of the body. Really stretch the whole left rib cage. And then walk your hands back to the middle and over to the left now, like you're going to 10 o'clock on the face of a clock. Look out, look out, look out. Keep tugging the right butt bone back in space. Keep the bend in the knees. I know it's a lot. And then come back to the middle. Ditch your blocks off to the side. We'll meet again in a forward fold. Any variation that you want with the arms. Walk your fingertips all the way forward to a dog pose. Pedal out your feet. Take any movements that you might need. You could rinse it out with a vinyasa, a plank pose, a tuck-toed up dog, maybe a cat and cow, any type of movement that feels good, like a rinse. And then we'll meet back in dog. Lift your right leg high and step your right foot forward and through between your hands so you land in a lunge. Grab one of your blocks. Place it on its highest height outside of your right foot. If you don't have a block, you can always just use your fingertips. From here, straighten both of your legs and spin the left heel down. Left hand finds the sacrum. Press the right hand into the block to spin the chest open toward the left side of your mat, moving toward a triangle pose. You can extend the left arm up Sometimes I even like to tent up onto the fingertips here. So you have lots of options. And then take your left arm over your ear and imagine that you could lean back and find a back bend, like you could arc around a beach ball. Just keep breathing. And then if you're really putting a lot of weight into the block or your hand, you can tent up onto the fingertips, get lighter. And now you really will want to get a bit lighter as you extend the bottom arm, extend the right arm. Lift all the way up as you breathe in. Whew. Warrior 2. Land it again. Adjust your stance as you might need. And find the steadiness and stability of the legs. Right knee tracking over the second toe. Back foot really anchoring you. Breathe in, straighten both legs. Tip it back, reverse triangle. Let the right hip lift up. And then as you exhale, cartwheel both hands down to frame the front foot. Left heel lifts. Step the right foot back, dog pose, forward to plank. Now listen, spin onto the outer edge of the left foot. Swim the right arm up and over, side plank. Right hand touches down, outer edge of the right foot, side plank. Swim the arm. Left hand touches down, back to downward facing. Really nice. Breathe in, lift the left leg high. Step the left foot forward and through between your hands. Grab your block. Straighten both legs any amount and spin the right heel down, setting up for triangle pose. Press the left hand into the block, right hand can find the sacrum as you spin the chest open toward the right. Right hand extends up, palm faces forward. Sometimes I rest my hand on the shin as well. Just find a good place so you get lots of height. No need to squish yourself. And then swim the right arm over your ear and imagine you could back bend and arc around. And then option to float the bottom arm parallel. That's it. Stay with it. Lift your torso up and land. Warrior 2, bend the front knee. You have made it. Sweet, sweet warrior 2. The back leg is like your anchor, really supporting you. The next time you breathe in, straighten the front leg, tip it back, reverse triangle. Both hands cartwheel down to frame the front foot. Pop the back heel up, step the left foot back to a dog pose, come forward to a plank, roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, side plank, swim your arm up and over, left hand down, outer edge of the left foot, swim the right arm up and over, right hand touches down, bend the knees to a dog pose, forward to a plank, maybe a full vinyasa if you want it, and just touch the knees down, take a child's pose. A moment of rest. Notice the pulse of the belly. The pulse of the chest. And the breath that just breathes you. If the arms are extended, bring them back by the outer heels. Lift your torso up. Be very gentle. And we'll meet in a virasana or meditative seat. You can take any type of seat that's comfortable for you. Palms can land I like them spooning one another, non-dominant palm on top, thumbs lightly touching. And just see how quickly you can slow the breath down. As you breathe in, imagine the inhale rising up the back of the body, coming all the way up over the crown of the head, and as you exhale, imagine the breath tracing the front line of the body. The breath wraps underneath you as you breathe in, rises up the back. Exhale down the front. Inhale rises up the back. Exhale down the front. Breathe in like fire rising, the embers that float up. Hold full over the crown of your head. Exhale like water descending, cool rain falling from above. Breathe in, fire rises all the way up behind you. Hold it full. Exhale, water like cool rain just descends from above. Inhale the efforts of your practice, rising up like fire. Exhale, grace, like cool rain freely given from above, descends into your potential. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale again and exhale. You can release any control of the breath and just allow the natural rhythm of your prana, life force energy flow through you. With as little fuss as possible, move any props off to the side. Sit your bum to one side and swivel your legs around in front of you. Just stamp your feet down so your knees are bent. Slide your bum closer to your heels and come down onto your forearms to lie on your back. You can slide your heels in a little bit closer. And from here, you've got a couple of options. So you can take a supported bridge pose by grabbing a block and placing 1 or 2 blocks underneath the sacrum. This is a really great place to stay. You can also ditch the block and take a bridge pose, tuck one shoulder blade underneath the other, maybe interlace the palms and press the pinky edge of the hands down into the mat. To take full wheel, reach your arms up over your head and get really, really long. Reach through your fingertips, and then place your hands down outside of your ears so that way your fingertips point toward your toes. You choose the inhale or the exhale, but when you do, press into the hands and the feet and just pop up onto the crown of your head. This is a good place to adjust your hands should you need, and then press into the hands and the feet to unfurl into a full wheel, keeping the feet parallel. Maybe you pump the heart toward the back of the space a few times. And this wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana, is not so much a bending over backward as it is an unfurling or an unfolding of the front of the body, really opening up into the potential. When you're ready, bend the elbows, tuck your chin. Top of the head touches down, tops of the shoulders touch down, tailbone touches down. Feet as wide as the mat, knees knock in, hands can land anywhere. I like one hand on belly, one hand on chest. And if you're in a bridge pose, you can release the interlace of the hands. Unfurl one shoulder at a time and meet me here. If you had a supported bridge pose, gently lift the hips up enough to remove the block. Lower down slowly, and we'll all meet in constructive rest, Knees knock in like a TP, feet as wide as the mat. You can just windshield wiper the knees a few times, left and right, for some gentle twists. And at any point, extend one leg at a time. Allow the arms to rest. Allow the arms to rest wide with the palms open, and just take Shavasana. Nothing much to do. The breath already breathing you. You're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. If you're moving with me, just begin to invite small movements back to the fingers and toes. Maybe circle wrists and ankles. As gently as possible, we'll meet seated. When you arrive, palms spoon one another, thumbs lightly touching. The eyes can close for the last few moments. And just notice how effortless the breath just breathing you. If it's meaningful to you, bring the hands together, thumbs at the third eye center, a gesture of gratitude for taking the time to practice together today. Namaste. Thank you so much again for joining me for class today. Look forward to seeing